2025 Track and Field Championships. This is the Division III Prelims. We are at the Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium at The Ohio State University. I'm Jennifer Beck alongside Nate Garlock. We are in for some great racing today, aren't we?
Absolutely. You know, the state track meet is one of those spectacular events that I feel like if you're just a sports fan in general, you have to come down and experience this. The crowds, the athletes, there's nothing like it. And we are so blessed in our area with how many athletes end up down here competing and representing their schools and their communities. We'll have heats today where over half the field are teams and kids from our own area. This is one of the greatest events of all year.
Absolutely. And before we get into it, we want to remind you that our title sponsor for this event is Wabash Mutual Telephone, a great supporter of WOSN and athletes in the Mercer County area. In fact, Wabash Mutual Telephone says, good luck, all Mercer County athletes. They are a proud supporter of athletes in Mercer County. Our first event is event number 1. It's the girls 4x800 meter relay, and here's who we have in these lanes. Lane 1, A and B, Minster and Versailles. 2A and B, McDonald and Smithville. 3A and B, Coldwater and Fort Fry. 4A and B, Northmore and Ottawa Hills. 5A and B, Fort Loramie and Kirtland. 6A and B, Rittman and Lincoln View. 7A and B, Columbus Grove and Columbus School for Girls. 8A and B, Grandview Heights and Patrick Henry. 9A and B, Kalida and Riverdale.
Top seed coming into this race, surprise, surprise, belongs to Minster. They come in with a seed time of 9:25.80. With this being a final, you will see today where some teams ease off on some of these relays. They're not pushing quite as hard, but remember, this is a final. This is for the state championship, and Minster wants to get this one started off the right way.
That's right. We definitely know the strength of the Minster distance runners and mid-distance runners. In fact, this relay team, they've got 2 freshmen and a sophomore running here. Now, it looks like they're currently in the 3rd place spot. As you can see, the runners making their way down the straightaway, just about finishing the first lap. 102, 103, 104 is about where they are.
And it's a little hard to tell from where we're at. Who are the 2 runners?
I think that's Versailles, actually. Possibly.
I even brought the binoculars with us, and they're not helping me much right now.
That's right. You actually get a closer view of all of this than we do because we're way up in the stands. We're right in the middle, surrounded by all of the fans, which there's a lot of them, Nate. So early in the morning, it's already pretty packed here.
Oh, yeah, it is absolutely jam-packed. By the time we get to the D2, D1s, you'll be standing room only around here. Right now, though, Minster making a move. It moved up to 2nd place, trying to keep the first-place runner within striking distance here as they finish up the first leg of this 4x8.
So we've got Sophia Dirksen listed as our leadoff runner here for Minster. Great freshman year for Sophia. Really strong 800s that she has been running. Looks like she's just jumped back into 3rd.
Yeah, that's actually Columbus Grove, who has jumped up to 1st, trying to track down the first-place runner.
So that's Devaney Pingle is who we have listed. Now, I'm going to tell you who we have listed, but just be aware sometimes they do make changes on who that is. And actually, I would say that Minster runner now you see him off and running. Columbus Grove listed here. We got Devaney Pingle to Jade Roeder. See if we can see her numbers. That would be a 1096 if that's Jade in the back.
So right now, I'll have to kind of wait till they get Minster coming up, taking over that 3rd place spot from Columbus Grove. McDonald out in front. They have the lead and opening it up a little bit. Not quite sure who's out there in 2nd, but Minster trying to track them down, getting themselves a little bit closer to the front.
252 is where we are. 53, 54, 55. That's our spot. 9:05.84 is the meet record. That's super fast. The OHSA as well as the Division III record, but a 9:25.80 is the top time coming in right now. Oh, look at that. Minster making the move now. One of the things I just love about Minster runners is their agility and their grit and their ability just to dig in and dig deep.
Coldwater making a move there. Here comes, that looks like maybe Patrick Henry or Wayne Trace. Lincoln View's there as well. And that was Patrick Henry. So we got a lot of local teams up towards the front here. McDonald, though, they are way out in front, growing that lead. Minster out into 2nd now.
Actually, I think that's Columbus Grove. Oh, wait. No, you're right. Yeah. I was reading the board. The board is behind the runners. The board is not catching up with the runners yet here.
So Rittman right now is in third, trying to see if they can't keep Minster within striking distance. Minster running a nice second leg here, but right now everybody chasing McDonald for that state championship.
Interesting, McDonald's time, a 9:35.69, but, perhaps they just did what they needed to do to get to state. There's always strategy in all of this.
Yep, absolutely. Columbus Grove back there in fourth, but they got a whole host of runners. This front stretch was where a lot of changing will happen. We'll see a lot of swapping of positions. We'll see what Columbus Grove can do. They're getting swallowed up by that pack that includes Patrick Henry and Coldwater. There's Kalida in there as well. So's Fort Loramie. So all local runners there in that group of five.
Minster passing off in the second spot. Rittman in the third spot. Columbus Grove. We're coming in at fourth, but like you said, a lot of changeover happening. And this is where this is a pivotal point, because this point in the race, your runner, if you got a strong runner here, you can do some real damage at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And McDonald, they've had the lead here for a long time. They haven't seen a lot of space being gained by any of the runners. Minster may be getting a little bit there, though, as they head into the curve.
A little bit of wind picking up. Feels like the weather just cooled down a tad bit just now.
The weather's been so weird here this morning. There's been times where it feels like we are going to roast with the sun beating on you, and then the clouds come and it gets cool. It's an interesting environment for these guys to run, because depending on the weather, it favors distance or sprints, and we're kind of going in between both right now.
You can see these runners now making their way. One more lap to go here. McDonald first, Minster second, Rittman currently third.
Minster's definitely closed that gap with McDonald. It's Fort Loramie is in fourth currently, followed by Patrick Henry in fifth.
And Columbus Grove in sixth.
That's Coldwater right in front of them, too, and then Collider right behind Grove, so they are all bunched up. Lincoln View a little bit off the pace towards the back of that pack, but here comes Minster trying to rein in the McDonald runner.
Take a look at her stride. Her stride she's now picking it up right now, because she knows she's got 200 to go, and this is the point where she's got to make some things happen if she can make it happen now. Doesn't want to pass in the curve, but might have to.
Well, and this is one of those places, too, where you can absolutely just kind of crush the spirits of the runner that you're passing, because you're getting stronger. They've given everything they've got, and they just can't seem to summon anymore when you come by them. And you can really open up a lead here if you're Minster.
Yeah, I think I really just saw her just move it up another notch right there. Head bobbing a little bit here, trying to hold on. Oh, that McDonald runner is not going to hold the offer, though. Back into first place. Minster now into second place. We're ready for a big anchor leg.
And here comes Fort Loramie. They're getting ready to take over third coming into this last leg. McDonald and Minster neck and neck out front. Fort Loramie, they're going to get the baton in third.
You mentioned Columbus Grove fifth, I believe.
Columbus Grove actually is back here. It's going to be Patrick Henry coming in fifth. Then you got Coldwater. And there's Columbus Grove right there. All these runners are from our area, too.
Nate, you mentioned that there might be races where so many of them are local. 9 of the 18 are in our local viewing area.
Yeah, it's incredible when you think about just the talent that we have in our area. And they're all so good. It's one of those things, but, as we talked about to begin this one, the class year in and year out, especially in the distance, seems to be this Minster girls team. And right now, they got a little bit of a lead here going into this last lap.
Yeah, and I would just say it's just a little bit of a lead, but you got a strong runner there. She looks so strong in her stride. One more lap to go. The 4 runners that we have listed for Minster are Sophia Dirksen, Annie Helmelgarn, Madison Eilerman, and Claire Bowman. This is the only girls' final of racing today. So the winner of this is the winner of the 4x8. Everything else we're going to do today are prelims, but this is the final for this.
Lots of changes here happening farther back in the race. As you see, Minster's really opened up their lead. They look like they are on their way to a state championship here in the 4x8. You look at the rest of our local teams here before we finish this last lap. You have Fort Loramie. They're back in 4th place. And it looks like Patrick Henry has now fallen back into 6th. Kalida right on their heels. Coldwater right there as well. Lincoln View has done a great job of working their way back up So just a ton of local runners right now finishing up here in this 4x8 final.
Yeah, so here you are. You're seeing the Minster runner. She is on her own. She is doing Minster things, guys. This is what we've seen year after year in the 4x8. Minster, so strong, so powerful. But as Nate mentioned, there is a fight going on for the ones behind. There are some strong runners back here eking it out in this final lap.
McDonald looks like they are going to fall back into third as Rittman will take that second place. Fort Loramie coming up strong in the fourth place spot. Coldwater making a move here. They're going to finish as they moved ahead of Smithville.
Oh, is that Audrey Alleg? Nice finish there for her.
And here comes Kalida in, Patrick Henry.
Minster first. I'm trying to read the board for you. There we go. Minster first, 9:17:56. Rittman second, McDonald third, Fort Loramie fourth, Coldwater fifth, Smithville sixth, seventh, Kirtland, and Kalida in eighth.
The champs are here, the winners of the 4x8. What a surprise. Minster again. How special is this moment?
This is just so crazy. This is my first year ever running here. I'm a freshman. I've just never had an experience like it.
For a freshman, she did pretty well, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She's amazing.
This is almost a yearly thing for Minster winning the 4x8. The tradition, what's it mean to you guys?
We put so much work in through the season. Like every workout, we're constantly pushing ourselves because just the goal is to be here. And before our race, our coach said just smile and enjoy it. And I think we knew we were going to enjoy it anyway, but might as well get a gold with it.
That's great. All right, a lot of energy coming from the stands. When you're running, do you hear it?
Yeah, I hear just my family, like I can really hear it, and I don't know, the Minster community as a whole really puts a lot of work into our running.
Anchor leg, unbelievable. Got the lead and did not relinquish it. Walk me through the last part of the race when you know you're going to be the state champ again.
I was really just thinking like, oh my gosh, they're coming. And then we finished, and I was like, guys, we're done.
I love it. Congratulations, ladies. Thanks so much. Let's send it up back to Nate and Jennifer up top. Nice job. Nice job.
Next up, we've got the boys 4x800 meter relay, event number 2. 6 schools, local schools that we are watching, and here who we have in the lanes. Lanes 1A and B, Seneca East and Cedarville. 2A and B, Tenora, Pandora Gilboa. 3A and B, Minster and Fisher Catholic. 4A and B, Ridgedale and Mohawk. 5A and B, Ashland Crestview and New Bremen. 6A and B, Botkins and Margaretta. 7A and B, Pettisville and Shenandoah. 8A and B, Rock Hill and McDonald. And 9A and B, Maplewood and Mineral Ridge.
Should be another great race as these teams are all looking for the first state title on the boys' side now in a race. And Minster are going to be up towards the front as well, along with Tenora. So they're going to be competing, and this should be a really excellent race. There's a lot of teams that are only just within a few seconds of each other, and we always know that once you get down here, times are always dropping.
Absolutely, and if you can think about the regular season and the 4x8 and how many times we watch that race and we see runners being lapped and we see such spread and differential because it's hard to get 4 solid 800 runners, but you come down here and like you said, it's within fractions of a second here in these teams. And look at how close they are already here in this third curve.
Yeah, just as they get here, they'll break this stagger. Everybody will start trying to go into a little bit of a pack or a line running here. We'll see where everybody shakes out. Minster kind of getting swallowed up there. Looks like they're currently in 5th place. And it'll be a tight pack as they cross the start-finish line for the first time.
The top time coming in is Seneca East. They've got a 7:59.78 seed time, the only ones to drop below 8 minutes. The record set back in 2007 is a 7:48.39.
So Minster falling a little bit back off the pace here. They are currently, it looks like, in about 10th or 11th off the podium. And see if we can't find some of our other local runners to see how they're doing here. Looks like Tenora's farther back as well.
So Tenora comes in with the number 2 seed time. Minster with the number 3 seed time.
So they come here towards the front stretch. That is going to be Maplewood that is in the lead. I can't quite sure who is in second there. Minster going to have to do some work here as we're going to have a crowded exchange. You can see that
Oh,
all the
wow.
runners just on top of each other.
They really are.
Lots of traffic. It is always dicey as you get into those exchanges, when those open exchanges, especially on races that are that close. It's also some momentum halted for some racers too, as there were some collisions.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, in past years, maybe not so much in this race, but I can recall in the 3200 and other races where there were collisions and there were disqualifications, unfortunately, because of that. Rock Hill, first place at the exchange. Maplewood, second.
And it looks like right now, and I could be missing them, I'm doing most of this through some binoculars right now, but it looks like the top local place currently, nope, here comes Tenora. Tenora making a move on that outside here as they come towards this front stretch, put themselves in good position. New Bremen right there as well. Minster one place back from them.
And you got to remember, folks, this is a 4x8. Each leg does something different. So coaches know what they're doing. They know where they're placing their runners. They know where their strength is. We saw Minster not in the lead for the girls and end up strongly winning. No questions at all.
Tenora now has moved themselves all the way up into fourth place. Still a very tightly packed race as you have the lead runner out there, and then 2 and 3 not too far back, and here comes everybody else making their move. McDonald, they're making a move on the outside, moving all the way up into second prior to getting into that third curve.
Wow, that's incredible, that backstretch. The number of runners that were making their moves there just shows you the strength of the relays here in this race.
Tenora runner trying to find some grit here. He'd fallen back, had been passed, but he is trying to push through. A lot of pain on some of these faces as these guys are trying to drive through. Tenora back up to fourth. A very tight pack here once again, as these exchanges are going to be crucial.
Yeah, Tenora may be passing into third now. It was pretty close there.
Yep, they are currently in third as they kind of settle into this straight line, as we're seeing a little bit of spacing now, as Tenora looking to potentially make a move, and maybe just settle on that outside shoulder on that back stretch, as they are going to go stride for McDonald as they are moving into second currently.
Yeah, that's very smart running right there, because that runner still has a lot of running left to do in this race. Needs to make sure not to use up too much energy, but now look, is stuck on the outside, running just a few little bit extra bits of yards to keep that placing.
Minster still with some work to do, and they are off podium currently and a little ways back from that front pack, but that front pack is very tight. We're going to have a move here, as that looks like that is, I'm not sure what school
is that McDonald?
No.
Yeah, McDonald, Mohawk, Tenora, your top three.
McDonald's actually the white jerseys. They are back into third now, and actually Tenora is running side by side with McDonald's runner. That might be Maplewood is the blues. Why I think the M's are what are getting us off guard right now.
Yeah, so once again, you have the up-close vision. We are up in the stands.
So I just heard the PA saying that it's actually Ridgedale that is out in front. They are currently leading this one. They came in with an 8:11 seed time. They are way above that pace currently.
Yeah, it's going to be neat to see what Ridgedale can do here. They're going to pass off to Evan Ricketts for the anchor leg. Here's who we have, our local anchors listed according to our heat sheet. Paul Westrick for Tenora, Landon Moore for Pandora Gaboa, Will Kanapke for Minster, Evan Ricketts for Ridgedale, Jet Jellison for New Bremen, and Colin Dosick, the anchor for Botkins.
Tenora back into seventh now eighth. As there's a fight here. These guys are neck and neck. This is what makes this 4x8 race here at the state so exciting. So equally talented are all these runners.
That's a lot of traffic right there in that exchange. Some of these guys, they're not getting off yet. I don't know if you can see it from your angle, but that was a lot of traffic from there.
Yeah, it's a lot of having to move around, and I believe that is Seneca East now that has moved themselves out in front. They were the top seed time coming into this one, but I think the Tigers have retaken the lead, and not sure who is on their back right now.
Maplewood handed off in the second spot.
So Seneca East coming around. They will be in first, and there is a tight pack, though, not too far behind them. Tenora in that pack. trying to keep themselves in contention for a podium finish.
Oh, this is going to be a really incredible watch to see who can get these final spots on the podium. 1 lap to go, guys, and it's so packed right there for that 4th position. There's 4 guys back there eking it out. Tenora now making a slight move into 5th spot.
Seneca East still leading.
Mohawk now moving past Maplewood.
Looks like Mohawk trying to track down Seneca East. Tenora is falling a little bit back here, as they are now in, I believe, 5th place.
Top 8 will make it to the podium, folks. This is a final 4x8 in the Division III state championship.
So Tenora, the top team from our area, they are currently in 5th place, trying to hold on, seeing if maybe they can't move any farther up the podium, trying to track down McDonald. We're going to have a sprint to the end here. Minster trying to get themselves in the podium. They have got to catch Riverdale to do it.
Look at Minster moving in.
And they are going to just finish 1 spot off the podium as Minster, as they will come in 9th.
So our highest finisher for our area is Tenora, and they finish in 6th place. Ridgedale gets 8th.
With the guys from Tenora High School in the 4x8 with a 6th place finish. I know you always want to win it, but 6th place, I mean, you get on the podium, how's it feel?
Feels pretty good. I mean, we worked hard all season, so this is what we train for. We train for hard races like this, and to come up short like that, it hurts, obviously. But, I mean, even just being down here, I mean, I know these guys have that feeling, but this is new to me, so it's a pretty good feeling to be up there.
With 3 underclassmen, is this a harbinger of good things to come?
I would say so, but our anchor, he's going to be really hard to replace.
Yeah, Paul's a fantastic runner, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
All right, now, a grueling race. You just finished up. I mean, it looked like you were in so much pain. How are you feeling right now?
My legs are aching. I can barely walk.
All right, part 2 with the guys from Tenora. You just got off the podium, okay? I know you were hurting after your race. Does it feel a little bit better now after being on the podium?
Not a whole lot. Still pretty dead. But it was still good to get out here and run, especially run with this guy. Last year, running with him. The other guys can't wait to run it back, but always trying to do better, but it was still a great experience.
Let's talk to Paul. Paul, being a senior, you know, this is kind of a bittersweet moment for you, but these guys have talked really highly about you. There's a good bond with this team, isn't there?
Yeah, I appreciate them. They're one of my favorite 4x8 teams I've ever run with. These guys all work super hard. They keep up with me every practice, every day. And to give their all like this and compete at the state level, we could have gotten first the same as we could have gotten 8th. But being able to just compete like it's another meet at state is amazing, especially with these guys, how young they are and how much talent they have.
Your last time doing this as a senior, look back at your career. How sweet has it been?
It's been awesome. I've been blessed to have some of the best teammates in the state each year. I've been on the 4x8 each year, worked through some other events. I'm just happy to come here and end it like this, placing and just being able to race. It's an awesome experience.
Oh, thanks for your time, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and a great job. 6th place. It's nothing to be ashamed of, right? So it's something to be proud of. Congratulations on that.
Our track meet is brought to you in part by Loigers Insurance. Loigers Insurance. Reliable, knowledgeable, professional. That's Loigers Insurance. Moving now to the sprints. Event number 3 is the girls' 100-meter hurdles. This is heat 1 of 2. 3 local runners actually on local teams that we are watching in this heat. Here are the runners. In lane 1, Brinsley Hiscox of United. Lane 2, Madison Smith of New London. Lane 3, Molly Brame of Minster. Lane 4, Morgan Apple of Lipsick. Lane 5, Kelsey Hackman of Danville. Lane 6, Ava Hewlett of Mineral Ridge. Lane 7, Tayden Obenauer of Pleasant. Lane 8, Sierra Meyer of Anna. And lane 9, Kara Hunsinger of Evergreen.
Top seed coming into this race belongs to Morgan Apple of Lipsick. She is a very comfortably in front time of 14.41 seconds. And that's actually the top seed time in between both heats as well. So it'll be interesting to see how she chooses to run this race. And we know top 2, so is it just get out, make sure that, you know, you get over the hurdles cleanly, get those top 2 positions, or if she wants to keep herself in top form here.
I promise you the runners are down there. They are down there. Nice picture, though, of all the Ohio State hurdles. And we're glad to be back here at Jesse.
And we had a false start.
False start.
Might have been lane 3. I don't know. I saw a little bit of movement. It looked on that right side, but it's hard. It's always so hard to tell. Those officials have to make a split-second call there. And
now, did it sound? It sounds like they're using that newer gun style.
So I've seen the flash this year. That was an air horn. It's hard to know. And I don't see anybody. Nope, that is lane 7.
Lane 7.
So that is the runner from Pleasant. So none of our local runners were affected by that, luckily.
It just makes it difficult, though, because now,
those nerves are,
just when you start out again, just a fraction of a second, you don't have the same. I'm losing my words already, which is not good, guys, because we got a whole nother day of this.
It's just, this is all a mental thing, your starts and everything, and this takes you out of that routine that you're in, and it can be hard because now it's in your head. I don't want a false start.
Mm-hmm.
There's a long hole, but everybody clean coming out.
All right, lane 5 looks to be over the hurdles before everybody else right now, and that would be Kelsey Hackman of Danville.
Morgan Apple going to have to hurry. She's in 3rd right now. And I think she's 3rd or 4th,
maybe. So we'll take a look. Mineral Ridge, 1st place. Oh, Molly Brame of Minster got 2nd, and Apple got 3rd. So top 2 are automatically going on. So we've got Brame of Minster moving on for sure. Apple waiting to see if she makes it in an at-large. Heat 2 of 2, girls 100-meter hurdles. Lane 1, Kaylee Dunham of Paulding. Lane 2, Sammy Rotuno of Mooney. Lane 3, Anna Marie Montel of Federal Hocking. Lane 4, Isabel Evans, Johnstown Northridge. Lane 5, your defending runner-up, Grace Moeller of Marion Local. Lane 6, Bree Clausen of Columbus Grove. Lane 7, Ariel Heitkamp of Fort Loramie finished 3rd last year. Lane 8, Brooke Huffman of Hannibal River, and lane 9, Farrah Golden of Calvert.
Yeah, we thought we had a lot of local runners in the first heat. We have 4 here in this one, and a lot of speed on the track. Good start by all the runners. Watching all those 3 steps out in front quickly, though. Looks like the runner from Ansonia. No, that is lane 4. That's
Evans,
yeah.
But Moeller chasing her down. Moeller will make it through with that 2nd place spot.
Isabel Evans just made quick work of the hurdles, and she was well out in front. But looks like the local area will be well represented tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like Heitkamp will make it through, as will Apple. Of course, that's unofficial, but according to the times, looks like they'll also make it in.
With Bree Clausen from Columbus Grove, just finish up your heat. Came in 4th in your heat?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Were you happy with that? It kind of moves you on to tomorrow?
Yeah, I was hoping to get 2nd, but it's good competition here, so I'm proud if I made it to the finals.
Okay, so what'd you learn today if you're in it tomorrow?
What?
What'd you learn today that if you're in it tomorrow? What can you do tomorrow differently?
I can make sure I get out faster and really focus on everything my coaches have told me, and just try my best.
All right. Hopefully we see you on the top of the podium tomorrow. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Event number 4, the boys 110-meter hurdles, heat 1 of 2. In lane 1, Dante Gentile, New Middletown Springfield. Lane 2, Hayden Wilson, Huron. Lane 3, Cade Shellhass, Ansonia. Lane 4, Carter Frater, McComb. Lane 5, Carter Howard, Independence. Lane 6, Braxton Barnett, Shenandoah. Lane 7, Daylin Garrett, Covington. Lane 8, Elijah Heitkamp, Fort Loramie. And Lane 9, Clay Stoller of Wayne Trace.
Top seat time belongs to Carter Frater from Macomb. The sophomore ran a 14.44 to win his region. See what he puts up here in this race. Everybody off to a good start. Pretty even into that first hurdle.
Now Carter is in lane 4. Oh, wow. Take a look at lane number 6.
That is the runner from Shenandoah. He just absolutely smoked this course. Ran a 14.37.
Wow. Covington gets the 2nd spot. So Shenandoah and Covington are your top 2 seed times. And Sonia, the 3rd place spot. Our local guys waiting to see what it says here on the board. Fort Loramie's Heitkamp finishes in 4th. Heat 2 of 2 in the boys 110-meter hurdles. Our eyes are on lane 5 with Carson Harrod of St. Henry. The other runners are in lane 1, Jackson Lonishak of Liberty Center. Lane 2, Judah Creeman, South Gallia. Lane 3, Garrett Geiser, Smithville. 4, Cameron Burgess, Chesapeake. St. Henry in 5, Lucas McEwen, Lakota in 6, Liam Kuhn, Crestview in 7, Owen Ball of Malvern in 8, Brody Baker Carey in 9.
Harrod in the mix there for that second spot. We'll see what happens at the line, as he's either going to be second or third. Waiting on those final results to pop up, as it must have been close because that did not come up right away. We are still waiting, and they are going to give him, I believe, in third as
by
he is.
0.01 100ths. Harrod of St. Henry gets third in this heat.
With Carter Frater here with the 110 hurdles. Carter came in with the best time, just finished up your prelim. Some thoughts after that event?
Definitely not my best start. I also hit most hurdles. I usually only hit like 1 or 2, but I ended up hitting like maybe all of them. I don't know. And definitely got off on the wrong foot.
All right, still you have a chance to make it to tomorrow. Tomorrow comes about. You still have the best time coming in. What are some things you need to change?
Definitely work on my starts, try and anticipate it better, and then work on actually getting over the hurdles and clearing them good.
All right, so what's the plan tonight? A lot of rest, relaxation, what?
Rest, relax, and just recover.
All right, hopefully see you on top of that podium tomorrow. Thanks for your time.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Busher Electric. Busher Electric is a full-service electrical contractor servicing the area communities for more than 40 years. You can depend on Busher Electric for all your electric needs. Our next event will be event number 5, the girls 100-meter dash. But before we get there, we're going to take a look at the qualifiers in the hurdles.
On the girls' side of things, the top 9 move on to the finals tomorrow. That is going to be Isabel Evans, Ava Hewlett, Grace Moeller from Marion Local, Molly Bram of Minster, Morgan Apple, Madison Smith, Ariel Heitkamp from Fort Loramie, Bree Clausen from Columbus Grove, and Anna Marie Montel from Federal Hawking. We are going to be well represented in the finals tomorrow in the girls' hurdles. And quickly before we go, we'll do the boys real quick. We have those results as well. Locally, it is going to be Carson Harrod. He made it in, and so did Elijah Heitkamp. He ran a season PR of 15.06 to qualify 7th.
So speaking of Morgan Apple, who will be competing in the finals tomorrow, she is in this next heat. She is in lane 9. The Leipzig runner will be headed to Ashland next year. Just finished running the 100 hurdles 20 minutes ago. She's back here again and will be vying to make it to finals again tomorrow in this race. Here's who we have in heat 1 of 2. Autumn Ritter of Houston in 1. Aubrey Vitte of Lakota in lane 2. Nicole Hayes from Lake Center in 3. Anna Reisner of Fort Recovery is in lane 4. Finished 5th last year in this race. Also won the 60-meter and 400-meter dashes at the indoor state track meet this year. Lane 5, Jaylee Osborne of Federal Hawking. Lane 6, Chloe Griffith of West Liberty. Lane 7, Mila Belalowski, Columbus Academy. Cool name, Mila. Lane 8, Kyra Hill of Grandview Heights. And in lane 9, Morgan Apple of Leipzig.
Starts are so important here in these short sprint events. And we will see Anna Rosner from Fort Recovery has a pretty comfortable seed time as far as being out in front with that 12:03. It is the top seed time in both heats today. We'll see how she does here. Look pretty clean coming out of those hurdles in lane 4. She is out to a big lead.
Yeah, look at great start, great movement, just strength in her running there. No question, Anna gets the win in this heat.
She's going to have an incredible time when that comes through.
11:83. Wow, she comes in with a 12:03, 11:83.
11:81 is the stadium record. She was 0.02 of a second off and under a 1/10 of a second time off of the Division III state record, so we will definitely need to keep an eye on her tomorrow.
Heat 2 of 2 now in the girls 100-meter dash. Lane 1, Mira Holt of Colonel Crawford. Lane 2, Audrey McMichael of Spencerville. We're also watching Claire Berkey of Coldwater in lane 6.
Lane 6,
Oh, yeah.
Coldwater runner making a run for it.
Oh, look at her
That'll
go.
be awfully close. McMichael was a little bit off of that pace, but that was a very close finish.
Montpelier runner gets the first spot, 12.44.
Berkey
Gets it, 12.47 from Coldwater, so she is an automatic for tomorrow.
With Anna Reisner here from Fort Recovery. Unbelievable, 11.83 in the prelim. You told me that's not your best, though. What's your best ever?
11.76.
11.83, though. You have to be ecstatic.
I'm pretty happy about that, yeah, for sure.
Were you just trying to send no doubt about it for tomorrow? Was that the message for everybody?
Pretty honestly, mostly for myself. I just need to sorry about that. I just need to feel confident going into tomorrow. So I was like, if I have a strong 100 today, I'll feel good for tomorrow. So.
All right, finish this sentence for me. You'll win the state championship tomorrow if you do what?
If I have fun and if I run basically how I did today.
Well, I have a feeling if you run like you did today, you're going to have some fun. Great effort today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Event number 6 is the boys 100-meter dash. This is heat 1 of 2. Lane 1, Andrew Wicker, Garraway. Lane 2, Luke Woodring, Evergreen. Lane 3, Aiden Duncan of Trinity. Lane 4, Ethan Bosch, Chalker. Lane 5, Cole Kaiser, St. Henry. Man, he has just been blazing down the track these past few weeks. What a great runner, just a sophomore. Lane 6, Cameron Burgess of Chesapeake. Lane 7, another standout athlete, Victor Holscher of Marion Local. Lane 8, DeAndre Riley of Mooney. And Lane 9, King Wilson, Cardinal Stritch. He has a cool name, King Wilson.
Kaiser in the middle of the track, out to a great start. He's going to have to hold on, though. Great push coming from lane 4, as we're going to have a sub-11 from Cole Kaiser. We'll see it, and it is going to end up being, he's going to end up getting second, excuse me. Yeah.
10.83. Wow. Let's take a look. Hold on here and see where.
Holscher was an 11.17 there in 5th. He also improved on his seed time, giving himself a chance to run in the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, and he'll have to get the at-large bid. Remember, top 2 make it on automatically, then the next 5 best times. But Cole Kaiser, without a doubt, we'll see him in the finals. Heat 2 of 2 in the boys 100-meter dash. Lane 1 from Ada, Logan Jolliffe. Lane 2, Nigel York of Cristo Rey. Lane 3, Jalen Griffin, Cincinnati College Prep. Lane 4, Trip Phoenix of Cary. Lane 5, Gabe Opong of Tree of Life. Lane 6, Hayden Ebright of Macomb. Lane 7, Sammy Tomlinson of Dalton. Lane 8, Bernard Sharp of Stivers. And Lane 9, Landon Rich of Woodmore.
Top time coming into this one, Trip Phoenix of Cary. The sophomore ran a 10.95. Right behind him, Hayden Ebright of Macomb with a 10.99. Should be a great race. Looks like the runner from Dalton out there trying to push it as well. Those are going to be more sub-11 times as well coming through here.
So it's Tree of Life Christians Opong with the win. Dalton finishing in 2nd place. That was a 10.86. Remind me of what we had in first heat.
11.17 was Holscher's. The top 2 times were 10.78 and 10.81. So we're going to have 4 runners in the finals running a sub-11, and we're going to have to wait for it looks like Jolliffe a little bit off the pace there with 11.21. We're going to have to wait and see once we get these live results updates on who all qualified, but there's going to be a very fast 100-meter final tomorrow.
With Cole Kaiser here from St. Henry, just finished up the 100. Cole came in 2nd in your prelim, but good news, was a personal best, wasn't it?
It was 10.82.
10.82. What was your best coming in before that?
10.89.
10.89. What do you attribute the difference was today?
You got good weather, good-ish finally. Haven't really had that yet, so that definitely helped.
You got to feel confident tomorrow that you're at least going to get on the podium, maybe have a chance to steal this thing tomorrow.
It feels good. I'm ready.
Congratulations. Great effort today.
Thank you.
This broadcast of the D3 Prelims State Track Championships is brought to you in part by Homans Insurance. Homans Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and Versailles. Girls 4x200-meter relay is coming up next, but first, real quick, Nate, qualifiers.
100-meter results qualifying for tomorrow for our local runners. Qualifying first with that blazing time, 11.83, was Anna Rosner. She will be pretty comfortably out in front as we head into the finals tomorrow. And then Claire Berkey of Coldwater, she qualified 4th. We will take a look at the boys' qualifiers here very quickly. as we have those results in as well. And it was Cole Kaiser. He qualified at a 10.83, qualified third with a 10.83.
Third.
We are going to have a blazing.
Wow.
We have the top 4 runners all ran sub-11s.
Amazing.
That final is going to be blazing tomorrow. Locally as well, Victor Holscher, the all-everything, he qualified 9th. He will be in the finals tomorrow as he ran an 11.17.
So he's going to get another chance. He did finish last year in 4th place in the 200, which that may be more of his race.
With that length and his
yeah.
stride, when he can get open in that open space, he's even that much more insane to watch run.
Yeah, we'll see him run in that in just a little while, as well as Cole Kaiser. But first, we got the girls 4x200 meter relay. And in lane 1, it's Versailles. We have Ashlyn Porter listed as the leadoff. Calvert in 2, Mogador in lane 3, Oberlin 4, East Knox in lane 5, Coldwater in lane 6, leading off with Brooklyn Sudoff, lane 7, Grandview Heights, lane 8, United, and in lane 9, Margaretta.
We are going to be on record watch here. The Division III state record 141.25 belongs to Oberlin, who is in lane 4. They ran that back on May 16th. A little bit slower in that regional. They come in at the top seed time of 142.24. We'll see if they go after it here. A lot of times it's just about qualifying, getting yourself into finals. So they may make an attempt to try to lower that even more tomorrow, but you just never know. The weather's a little weird right now. It's starting to warm up a little bit. The sprinters like the heat. We'll see if that plays an effect here for them.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of everything already in this just since the meet started. Overcast, cool, wind, then hot and humid, overcast again, then hot and humid again. Like right before those hundreds, it got hot.
Yeah, and right now the sun's peeking out. It's a little humid, a little warm, but then all of a sudden you feel a breeze. And you're like, oh, maybe it's chilly. We can't make up our mind. Welcome to Ohio weather. And, I all the years that I've come down here, I've gotten a little bit of everything. I know you have too, Jennifer. I've been here when it's been cold, when it's been raining, when it's been 100 degrees, and you feel like you can't breathe. So you just never quite know what you're going to get. And it was just a long hold there on that start. We'll see if that affects anybody. It looks like everybody's got out pretty clean, though. Coming to these first exchanges, these exchanges are so important. If you can get in and out cleanly, you can really drop time and put pressure on the other runners. One bad exchange can kill your race, though.
Yeah, since they're in a stagger, it's so important to watch the handoffs to see who is in the lead. As Nate said, Oberlin comes in with the top seat time of a 142.24. We're watching Coldwater in lane 6 and Versailles in lane 1.
Coldwater had a little bit of a rough exchange down there, but doing a nice job rebounding here. We'll see how this second exchange goes for them.
Lana Kaiser handing off to Kirsten Keller for Versailles. Ellie Stammen handing off to Jana Luffman.
Much better that time. Clean exchange, able to get away. As Oberlin over in lane 4. Looks like they're doing what most of us expected them to do, is they've got that stagger broke, and they are out in front.
Yeah, Oberlin's going to hand off. They've got Jasmine McDermott running and going to hand off to Olivia Hudson, their anchor.
Coldwater did a nice job. A little bit of a rough exchange there. Looked like maybe a little early bit takeoff, but doing a nice job recovering, running that curve, opening the stride up. As they come off of that curve, Coldwater looks like they might be in 4th. They're going to have a good front stretch here to get themselves into the finals.
Oberlin strong at the first place spot. No one is going to catch them.
Versailles down at the bottom of the track. They're going to be a little bit off the pace, and Coldwater's going to have to sweat out heat 2, as it looks like maybe they were either in
4th or 5th.
Yeah, there was also a runner out here in 9 that may have caught him too. There was a really close finish, so they will have to wait. Versailles was off of that pace, probably not going to make it unless something crazy happens there in heat 2.
And they are off and underway. It's the girls' heat 2 of the 4x200 meter relay. Lane 2 is St. Henry. Lane 4 is Fort Loramie. Lane 5 is Columbus Grove, and lane 6 is Anna. And then out there in lane 9, Liberty Center, from some of our friends up in way up northwestern Ohio.
If you're catching on to the theme, it's that we are well represented down here at the state track meet. There are 5 local area teams competing in just this heat. As it looks like Liberty Center out here in 9 doing a nice job, but You got to remember, they
Lauren
got the
Akmuvi's
stagger.
running right now, though, and anytime Lauren is on the track, good things can happen.
Columbus Grove out in front. They're going to have the first exchange there. So it looks like they're going to be out in first.
Yeah, nice exchange for them. Devaney Pingle is who we have listed as the runner here. I didn't have a chance to read off the names. Evie Gass led off for St. Henry, Izzy Meyer for Fort Loramie, Allison Thompson for Columbus Grove, and Chelsea McDowney for Anna were your leadoffs. But this is the third runner getting ready for the anchor, which will be Aubrey Schroeder, according to what we have listed for Columbus Grove.
A little bit of a slowdown there for Columbus Grove, but they were still able to exchange first. Looks like they are going to be in the lead, but they're going to be challenged down low. Down in lane 1, Montpelier coming up quickly. St. Henry down there as well. And I believe that is actually going to be lane 4. It's Fort Loramie trying to see if they can't bring them up. But Columbus Grove is going to cruise to a win here as they ran a pretty clean race. And right here in the prelims, that's what's important.
Two of our local teams making their way to the finals tomorrow. Columbus Grove with the win in this heat with a time of 1:43.6. Fort Loramie will finish second, and Anna is third. Okay. Our next event will be event number 8, the boys 4x200 meter relay. I'll read who is in the lanes in a moment, but first let's talk about the records. The Division III record set back in 2014, a 1:27.63. Lima Central Catholic. Folks, Nate Gerlach is more than just a great commentator here. He was the coach of that team back in the day.
Yeah, you know, that team was a really special one. We went on to win the state title as a team. We got that record actually in regional finals down in Troy. And it was interesting because we had a lot of injuries that year. And coaches tell you injuries happen and you got a lot of things going on. It's not as easy as this looks. A lot of times with track, people will tell you, just put them on the track. If they're fast, they're going to run fast. That wasn't the case for us. Those guys set the state record just the third time that they ran together as a team. We had a lot of injuries. We couldn't run. I'm sorry, it's the fourth time. We didn't run.
But still, that's amazing.
We didn't run as a unit until we got to district semis. District semis, district finals, regional semis, and then we set the state record in the regional finals. Came here to state. We actually held the state meet record until Columbiana knocked us off a few years back in 2019. But still the D3 state record holders. It's still a record that I think is really impressive. Only 3 teams have ever ran under a minute 28 in Division III. We did it twice. Those guys were so talented. Michael Rogers, Dimitri Floyd, Scott Willicke, Jameer Coleman. Scott Willicke was a distance runner. Dimitri's first year. Our team had been anchored by Michael and Jameer for so many years. So just a special time for us, and still really happy to have that record.
So exciting. 1:27.63. Again, 2014 was when that was set. And 1:28.68 is the best seed time coming into this heat, which is Huron in lane 4. We've got Trinity in lane 1, Wayne Trace leading off with Eli Treese in 2, Marion Local leading off with Andrew Pullman in lane 3, Huron in 4, Grandview Heights in 5, Cuyahoga Heights in 6, Afrocentric in 7, Cary in 8, and then Convoy Crestview, Breton Rodriguez in 9.
Good start by all the teams coming out. I always like when you don't hear that second beep.
Yeah, and speaking of beep, we're still getting used to that change of the, it's not the gun start anymore. It's the new and some people say improved way to start.
Sometimes, it's funny. When I was younger, you used to laugh about people who are like, well, that's like how it used to be. And I'm now at an age where I like how it used to be. Good start here, fight on the outside, but you really got to pay more attention. This is exciting here. It's a good race. These guys are moving through, but it's going to be the middle of the track that we really need to watch here on these handoffs to see who's currently in the lead, and it is going to be pretty tight. Lane 4 got that one off right around the same time as lane 8, but 4 obviously in a much better position as they come around for the final handoff.
So Marion Local in lane 3, they've got Justin Knopf running right now. He's going to hand off to Victor Holscher, and I tell you, throughout the season, that's been a great 3-4 punch to have those in that 3rd and 4th positions.
They made up a ton of time. You're exactly right, Jennifer. And that's a great handoff. Now here comes Victor Holscher, the 200 you mentioned earlier. That's his specialty.
It really is.
This is where they want him in that anchor spot on this 4x2.
He's going to have to work, though.
It is going to be tight. He has worked his way up into that 3rd position. So now it's going to be all about time. He's not going to get 2, but he can't really afford to get too many positions, and he's got to run through that line. That is going to be just around 1:30, maybe a sub 1:30 time for them. And if so, that should get them into the finals.
1:30.07. They finished 3rd in this heat. Heat 2 of 2 in the boys 4x200 meter relay. In lane 1, Fort Loramie leading off with Max Maurer. Lane 2 is Dalton. Lane 3, East Knox. Lane 4, Cincinnati College Prep. Lane 5, Mooney. Lane 6, Margaretta. Lane 7, Ansonia. Lane 8, Valley. And lane 9, St. Henry, leading off with Carson Herod, anchoring with Cole Kaiser.
Yeah, Cole Kaiser coming off of that extremely impressive 800-meter semifinal. We'll see what he's able to do here with his team. And
ooh, uh-oh.
That's going to be a little rough. As we mentioned, the last thing you want to hear is that second, but I never heard the initial. So I don't know if they saw some flinching before they even got to that point.
Yeah, I didn't hear the initial either. Of course, we talked about how we're adjusting to this new style of the gun start. And throughout the season, I've noticed there's not really consistency yet.
Because I've been at meets where they still use the traditional starting gun. I've seen the light, and we do have a false start. That is going to be lane 4, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's a big one.
Yes, it is. Cincinnati College Prep. They came in with the top, or the second best seed time here with a 129.36. That is, it is heartbreaking. Anytime I see a kid false start, it is tough. But when you false start on a stage like this, it's just, I mean, it just breaks your heart for these kids because you know how hard they work, especially if you're around track, you're involved in the sport, you know what goes into this. That is just so tough to watch them have to go through that.
Yeah, so if what we have is correct, that was a freshman who was going to be leading off there. So the least amount of experience, not saying he's not qualified at all, but the least amount of experience. And then, as we said, throughout the season, we don't have a consistency on how things start. So these kids are not every single week hearing that same type of gun start. This one is really a lot different than anything I've heard throughout the whole season.
Absolutely. And, you know, we kind of talked off air a little bit, but this was something that we trained even back when I was still coaching, because not every starter is the same. You know, they have something that they're taught to do and their cadence, but you're going to get starters who are quick after a set. They hold you a little bit longer after a set. You can't let your body get into a routine where it's set and you go every time, because that's when those false starts tend to happen. You know, so that's one of those things too that training comes in. It's a lot easier to do the starting. As you see now, we have the starter here on camera. See the long hold here. This just has to do with the kids getting in their blocks, getting everybody getting settled. They won't go to set until everybody has stopped moving and they've got themselves in position. So this also can mess up a runner's routine. That was a little bit of a longer hold really that time. But everybody got off clean that time, so nice adjustment by those leadoff runners as they head down the backstretch here of this first 200.
We are watching lanes 1, Fort Loramie, and lane 1, Fort Loramie, and lane 9, St. Henry.
Fort Loramie looks to have already made up some ground from lane 2. So they're going to hand off first, so great first leg for them.
And their second runner is DJ Barhorst. Toe-to-toe right there with lane 2, Dalton.
He'll have a little bit of an edge coming around because he's on that inside track. As you can see, him going to run off. Looks like we did have a bad handoff down there in the exchange. So not as many runners here. That is going to be lane 5.
Nice handoff way on the outside for St. Henry from Zach Heath to Kenneth Hoying. Of course, he is in lane 9, so it's really not possible to know exactly where he is right now.
So unconfirmed, obviously. This is unofficial, but it looks like the top 2 times in this heat were DQ. We had a false start and a bad exchange. Fort Loramie done a nice job on that inside.
St. Henry almost missed that handoff.
White flag, though, so they must be okay.
Yeah, Cole Kaiser's got to pick things up here.
Good position here for Fort Loramie and St. Henry to try to make finals with the DQs. Fort Loramie trying to hold on there in lane 1. Here comes Cole Kaiser. He's going to try to get it at the line. It's going to be tight. Fort Loramie and St. Henry neck and neck for 3 and 4. We will have to wait to see what the official finish was, but a great race.
What an unexpected race, really, with the way things started. St. Henry finishing in third with a 1:30.92 out of lane 9. Fort Loramie in fourth out of lane 1.
So both of those teams may have gotten themselves into finals. We'll know here when we come back with the next races. We should have those live results. But what looked like maybe a long shot at best for those guys to make finals, you take advantage of the situations. You had 2 teams DQ. You ran good races. You gave yourself an opportunity, and that's what these prelims are about.
Our scoreboard sponsor of the 2025 OHSAA Division III Prelims is Wabash Mutual Telephone. Wabash Mutual Telephone, proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. One of our presenting sponsors is Busher Electric. Busher Electric is a full-service electrical contractor servicing the area communities for more than 40 years. You can depend on Busher Electric for all your electric needs. 4x100-meter relay is what we have next. This is heat 1 of 2. Lane 1 is Montpelier. Lane 2, Delphos St. John's, leading off with Lila Jackson. Lane 3, Coldwater, Brooklyn Sutoff is the leadoff. Lane 4, Oberlin. Lane 5, Newcomerstown. Lane 6, St. Henry with Morgan Bomber. Lane 7, Grandview Heights. Lane 8, Waynedale. And Lane 9, West Liberty.
We talked about the starts. We've talked about that a couple of times here today, but here in this 4x1, your starts and your exchanges are so much more vitally important. You don't have as much time to try to make up any mistakes. So usually the team that is the cleanest is the one that has the best advantage here. As you see, Oberlin was able to get in and out really quickly there. They're off to a good start.
Yeah, nice straightaway run there by that second runner for Oberlin.
Another good set of exchanges, it looks like, by everybody.
Remember, we're watching Coldwater in lane 3. Delphos St. John's is in 2, and St. Henry's in lane 6.
St. John's running a nice one as they were able to get that exchange off pretty good. Delphos St. John's is going to be in the mix here. Their anchor trying to hold off Coldwater. Coldwater going to take over third. And look at lane 9 down there. That was West Liberty Salem. They put on a great show here on that backstretch. That final leg was electric. It's going to be hard to know.
St. Henry, though, they get the automatic bid to tomorrow, 50.10, finishing in second place. And third place, West Liberty Salem.
They came out of nowhere. You just saw them kind of moving really quickly. Coldwater 4 and St. John's finished 6. So it's going to be tough for St. John's, but we just saw it in the 4x2. Jennifer, things can happen in races. So Delphos St. John's still alive for the finals.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Holman's Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and Versailles. And speaking of Versailles, they will be in this next heat. Lane 1 of the girls 4x1 will lead off with Ellie Stallman. Lane 2 is Margaretta. Lane 3, Harvest Prep. Lane 4, Fort Loramie with Audrey Rassman. Lane 5, Columbus Grove with Allison Thompson. Lane 6, Mooney. Lane 7, United. Lane 8, Ridgewood. And Lane 9, and Sonia. Nate, some results.
Yeah, looking at the girls 4x2, the teams that are local teams that have qualified for finals. Columbus Grove qualified second. Fort Loramie was third. In 6th place was Anna. 7th, St. Henry. All 4 of those teams will be moving on to compete in the finals tomorrow. And we will take a look at the boys 4x2 as well. And our local finishers, Marion Local, they qualified 5th. And in the 8th and 9th spot, the final 2 qualifiers, St. Henry and Fort Loramie. Jennifer, we talked about this off air. We had 2 teams get disqualified. St. Henry and Fort Loramie took advantage of that, and now they've given themselves a chance to get on the podium tomorrow.
All right, I keep getting quiet because I feel like they're getting ready to start, but
if you look, Columbus Grove still kind of getting settled into their blocks yet, so we won't get a set quite yet.
You mentioned Columbus Grove's 4x2 making it tomorrow. Fort Loramie also making it. Now these ladies are running again.
Columbus Grove off to a good start. We'll see how this first exchange goes for them.
Allison Thompson to Kendall Pulte, then to Lauren Achmoody, and anchoring with Aubrey Schroeder.
All a bunch of familiar names for us from the area, as these girls are used to having success coming off of that basketball run. Good exchange in the middle for Columbus Grove. Fort Loramie right there with them as well.
Lauren Akamuti leading the way she has all year long.
Another great exchange. Columbus Grove out in front. Fort Loramie trying to stay in the mix as well. Back in third right now, trying to see if they can't get that automatic qualifier.
It's Mooney in second right now, but it's going to be Grove with the win and super close at the end. I'm not sure which one got it. Let's look at the results. 49-41 for Columbus Grove. Mooney gets the automatic qualifier in the second spot. Fort Loramie just behind them with a 50.12.
We're with the ladies from St. Henry, came in second in their heat in the 4x1. Have to be excited about that finish.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I said you have to be excited about that finish.
Yeah, for sure. That's just what we wanted to do. Come in here and qualify and then just run our race on tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, excited.
I noticed some of you guys go with the bedazzled look, some don't. What's the thought process here?
Look good, run good. That's what we say. So I like the glitter. Makes me feel fast.
And you naturally just look good, so you don't have to go with the glitter, right?
That's right.
All right, the excitement level. Tonight, you're going to be probably just barely able to sleep. How are you going to be able to manage that excitement being ready for tomorrow?
We're just going to get some rest and come back tomorrow and do the same thing.
Gotcha. All right, now you're missing one. You're all fast, but not 3x4 fast all by yourselves. Who are you missing?
Carly Busher. She's running the 300 hurdles.
Okay. All right, now talk a little bit about how good she is. What does she bring to your relay team?
She's the backstretch of the 4x1. She's impeccable. She's always fast. Like, if I could run with anybody, it'd be her. And just running in, she'll be like, oh, I'm coming in hot. And I just know that, like, you have to come out faster than her.
I love that. All right, let's look ahead tomorrow. What's it going to take for you guys to be atop that podium in the one spot?
We're going to eat good, drink some water, and get some rest. And we're going to come back and show up tomorrow.
This broadcast of the D3 Prelims State Track from the Jesse O. Memorial Stadium is brought to you in part by Loigers Insurance. Loigers Insurance, reliable, knowledgeable, professional. That's Loigers Insurance. The boys 4x100 meter relay is next, and in this heat, we have one team to focus on there in lane 8, and it's Fort Loramie. Here are the full field of competitors. Lane 1, Carey. Lane 2, Mooney. Lane 3, Ansonia. Lane 4, Huron. Lane 5, East Knox. Lane 6, Margaretta. Lane 7, Afrocentric. Lane 8, Fort Loramie. And Lane 9, Cuyahoga Heights.
Much like the girls' race, this all comes down to your start and those in and out of the exchange zones. Can't afford too many hiccups or mistakes. There's just not enough time in this race to try to make that up, no matter how fast you are. So we'll see what teams can get through here pretty clean. Fort Loramie's got a little bit of work to do. Top time coming into this one belongs to, looks like Huron in lane 4, 43.30.
Clear start. They are off and running. Remember, lane 8, Fort Loramie is who we are watching. Picking up the staggered, though.
And lane 7 got it.
Afrocentric.
They got off to a great start. Fort Loramie trying to stay close, but Afrocentric right now looking fantastic after those that first exchange. And that exchange was beautiful for them
really
as well.
Was beautiful exchange.
Afrocentric's going to put themselves in great position here coming across this curve. Got to look to the inside, though. Ansonia coming up quickly. So's Huron. Afrocentric, another great exchange. Huron out in front.
Yeah, Joseph Schaefer. Interesting running style. Wow.
And Fort Loramie looks like they came in 9th in that heat. Unfortunately, probably not going to be good enough. But still, being able to come down here and compete in the state meet, obviously something that all these athletes dream of. So it's still a great accomplishment by them.
Heat 2 of 2 in the boys 4x100 meter relay. Seneca East in lane 1. Van Buren, lane 2, leading off with Seth Gregory. Northmore in lane 3. Lane 4, St. Henry. Carson Herod is your leadoff. Lane 5, Trinity. Lane 6, Independence. Lane 7, Newton Local. Lane 8, Rosecrans. And lane 9, Columbiana.
Looking most forward to watching lane 4 there. St. Henry, they come in with the top seed time, 43.41. First exchange a little long, but they got it off.
Northmore next to them. I think they got their exchange off just a little bit earlier. But that is Zach Heath handing off to Kenseth Hoying. And then we're going to see Cole Kaiser do what he's been doing all season.
We saw a bit of a rough exchange with him in the 4x2. This one a lot cleaner.
Oh, very nice. But he's got some work to do.
He's going to have to make up some ground, but he can do it. Here he comes, digging. He got that baton in 5th place. He is now up to 3rd, trying to get close. And it looks like St. Henry will take 3rd.
Trinity looked like they were 2nd. Northmore, I believe, or 1st rather, 2nd. And yeah, take a look at what he did from 5th to 3rd.
And
you think he's tired?
Not yet. No, he's different. He's built different than me. I'm tired watching him. He could probably go run a mile right now. His day's not over yet either. We'll get to see him one more time today.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Busher Electric, a full-service electrical contractor servicing the area communities for more than 40 years. You can depend on Busher Electric for all your electric needs. This is heat 1 of 2 in the girls' 400-meter dash, and our eyes are on lane 4. That's Isabella Zahn, the D3 state record holder, and she is from Coldwater. We're also looking at lane 7, Naomi Kanapia Parkway. Also in this heat, Mira Holt of Colonel Crawford in 1, Ava Traffis of Johnstown Northridge in 2, Maya Dowdy of Malvern in 3, Zahn in 4, Morgan Spalding of Columbus Academy in 5, Julie Tompkins of Mogador in 6, Paulding's Runner Kanapke in 7, Marley Rhodes of Minford in 8, and Emily Miller of Calvert in 9.
As much as I like hanging out with you, Jennifer, I came here to watch Izzy Zahn run. This is why I am here. You said it off air. I've never seen her. This is the first time I've gotten a chance, and you said she makes it look easy. And when you watch, this doesn't look like she is sprinting or pushing herself or running hard, and she is blowing the field away, and she will come in a low 50 here, and it looks like she's just out for a jog. This is really, really impressive to watch. 55
flat is the state meet record. Izzy is about to break it at a 54. Let's see. Yep, a 54.56. And I got to tell you, I miscalled one of her races in a relay earlier this year because she looked so relaxed that I'm thinking she's running a 54. She's got to look faster. She has put in so much work. She has done everything right to be where she is today. It's been really impressive.
And if you are watching this broadcast, tune into the next one, because if you thought this was impressive, I got a feeling what she's going to do in the finals in this 400 is going to blow all of us away.
That's right. So make sure you watch tomorrow, because we have more of her, and she'll be back for the 200 as well later on today. Heat 2 of 2 in the girls' 400-meter dash prelims. We have last year's winner in this race. That's Olivia Hudson, and she is in lane 4. Also running in lane 1 is Ari Tompkins of Mogador. Lauren Laudick of Kalida in 2. Ava Reed of Anna in 3. Hudson in 4. Anna Reesner in Fort Recovery. We just watched her with an amazing 100-meter dash run. Marissa Bonham of Riverdale is in 6. Anna is in 5. Isabel Bostic of East Knox in 7, Kate Turnwald of Ottoville in 8, and Claire Rogers of Mechanicsburg is in lane 9.
5 of the 9 runners are local runners to our area. It is the theme of the Division III track meet. Northwest Ohio, well represented. Top seed time belonging to, as you mentioned, the runner from Hudson, Olivia Hudson, or the runner from Oberlin, Olivia Hudson. She comes in with that 5.599.
But watch Anna in lane 5. She made up stagger right at the beginning. She's got a mission, she's got a plan, and she knows what she wants to be doing. Anna, who just ran a 100, you talk about crazy 400 runners. Tell you what, if you can run a 100 and a 400 with equal strength, right, that is something to be spoken about.
Well, and you can tell there's 2 different running styles here from Olivia Hudson and Anna Rossner. Anna Rossner is trying to use her speed. She's giving herself out in front, trying to hold on. Olivia Hudson, it's been more steady. Well, Hudson, though, is not going to be able to catch her. Rosner's going to hold on here, and she is at 50. We better watch this time, as she is going to come in at an incredible time.
Oh, wow.
She just ran a sub-56 400. Rosner with an incredible run there.
55.94. How impressive. So we've got... These ladies know each other well.
Yeah.
They have had to compete all throughout the season with each other. Same conference, and we're going to see them both vying for state title tomorrow. Our next event, event number 14, it's the boys 400-meter dash. Heat 1 of 2. We're watching lanes 1 and 2. Trevor Stearns from Parkway is in lane 1. Mickey Pendergast of Van Buren is in lane 2. Other runners are Cowan Becker of Northmore in 3, Matthew Wright from Purcell Marion in 4, Aiden Apple of New Middletown Springfield in 5, Drake Blasey of Woodmore in 6, Aiden Wattell of Valley in 7, Anthony Evans of Winford in 8, and Donovan Statham of Lakota in lane number 9.
Top time coming into this one is going to belong to Matthew Wright from Purcell. He has a 48.37 seed time. So pretty comfortably out in front, but you know, we talked about this earlier in the meet. It's hard to judge seed times because you never know what's going on at the regional level and what guys needed to do to be able to qualify. So we'll have to see if anybody pushes him. It looks like he's getting a challenge there coming out of lane 5 maybe.
Yeah, and lanes 3 and 4 as well. Now the backstretch is just about done. This last 200 is where you really start to see what happens, because some of these runners don't even kick it in until that 200 mark, knowing that they can do a reverse split. Both of our local runners have podium experience in the past. Pendergast was 8th last year. Stearns was 5th 2 years ago.
Great race here for first and second. Down there in lanes 1 and 2. Going to be Fort Loramie coming in maybe 4th, I believe. Or no, excuse me, that's Van Buren. The Van Buren runner, Mikey Pendergrass, he might have been 4th. So he's going to probably be right on that cut line. We'll have to wait to see how lane 2 shakes out. Or heat 2, excuse me, shakes out.
Heat 2 of 2 in the boys 400-meter dash. And I'll tell you what, the sun is barreling down on the track right now. The heat is really picking up for these runners. We have lane 1, Riley Newton from Hardin Northern. Lane 2, Braden Bromagam of Ansonia. Lane 3, Braxton Sloan of South Southern. Eli Treese of Wayne Trace is in lane 4. Jaden Smith of Afrocentric in 5. Seth Coker, Newton Local in 6. Josh Pezel of Lowellville in 7. Ray Davenport of Bern Union in 8. And Jacari Corner of St. Thomas Aquinas in lane 9.
Eli Treese from Wayne Trace comes in with the top seat time here in this prelim. It's 48.95 for Heat 2. So we'll see how he fares. Good position here in the track, and as you mentioned, though, things heating up, and it gets this distance is where it starts to get a little tricky. Those short sprinters, they love the heat. It keeps the muscles loose. They love running in this heat. Distance, not so much. You start to get in this weird realm of 400, 800. It just kind of depends on the runner and how they are acclimated to this type of weather.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because this really is a sprint, but it is such a long sprint that also requires the ability to just push through. This is the toughest part right now where they are, because their body's screaming. This is not a 100, this is not a 200, but they got to run like it is.
And Treese looks like he's getting stronger. He had fallen back, but he pulled himself all the way up into second, trying to see if he can't close the gap on lane 5.
I got to comment on his hair. Take a look at his hair. It like matches his uniform.
And whatever it is, it's going to carry him into the finals. That second place finish, it means an automatic spot for him tomorrow in the 400 final. So congratulations to Eli Treese.
I'm with Trevor Stearns here at the Jesse O. Just finished up the 4x4. Not the finish that you wanted, but I mean, still, you're here at the state championship. Some of your thoughts?
Last year I hurt my hamstring real bad, so it missed out on running here and at regionals. Really disappointing. Regionals this year, I broke my own school record, ran a 49.96. I'm just happy to be back here. I mean, yeah, it's great. Sucks I didn't run how I wanted to, but it is what it is. Next 4 years, I'm running at Ashland, so we'll go from there.
That's fantastic. You're going to be a huge asset to people at Ashland. Heat today, was it a huge factor?
I would say a little bit here and there. When the sun's out, it's definitely hotter on the track. But, that's usually how track goes. It's either not going to be perfect conditioning, whatever, so, yeah.
So you're a senior. It's the last opportunity. Give us some thoughts looking back at all 4 years.
I would say all 4 years have been great for me, especially sophomore year when I broke the school record, made it to state, placed 5th. But then junior year is kind of my downhill. Senior year, I progressed again. I'm just glad to be back and running full go again, so.
Well, we wish you nothing but success at Ashland. Thanks for your time.
This broadcast of the 2025 OHSAA Division III Prelims at The Ohio State University is brought to you by Wabash Mutual Telephone. Wabash Mutual Telephone, proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. We'll give you some results here in just a moment, but first, the competitors in Heat 1 of the girls' 300-meter hurdles. Lane 1, it's Mia Burr of Cedarville. Lane 2, Bree Clausen of Columbus Grove. Lane 3, Kendall Pulte of Columbus Grove. Lane 4, Isabel Evans, Johnstown Northridge. Lane 5, Anna Marie Montel of Federal Hawking. Lane 6, Grace Moeller, Marion Local. Lane 7, Julia Schiaretti of Tuscarora Central Catholic. Lane 8, Melena Wilson of Mineral Ridge. And Lane 9, Elisa Holsinger of Cary.
We will take a look at the boys and girls 4x1 results and 400. A lot of local runners representing us in the finals tomorrow. And the girls 4x1, Columbus Grove, they are the qualified first. St. Henry qualified fourth. Fort Loramie fifth. Coldwater seventh. Delphus St. John's just missed out on the finals by 1/100th of a second, finishing in 10th. For the boys 4x100 meter relay qualifiers, it is going to be St. Henry. They qualified fifth, and they will be the lone local representative in that race tomorrow. For the girls 400-meter dash, we are going to have a great one on our hands tomorrow for that one. Qualifying first, Isabella Zahn. Second was Anna Roster from Fort Recovery. And we also had Lauren Laudick from Kalida. She qualified seventh. So all three of them going for a state title tomorrow. Boys 400 meters. Our local representatives tomorrow, Eli Treese, he qualified fourth. And then Riley Newton from Hardin Northern, he qualified eighth. So we will have two local runners in the boys 400-meter final as well.
So missing from this race is Rylan Jones. Last few years, we've seen Rylan Jones from Allen East running here at State. Unfortunately, suffered an injury that has made it just derailed her track season, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's really a shame. You know, she got injuries happen, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can step out of your house and twist an ankle. They happen. We all know that it is a part of life and it's a part of sports. You hate to see it with athletes, especially somebody the caliber of Rylan Jones. She suffered an injury in the basketball All-Star game at the end of the season. Tweaked her ankle, twisted it. Not quite sure what the significance of that one was. I know they rested her earlier this season, and then when they tried to get her back out on the track, it just wasn't happening. The injury was too much. It was too much for her to overcome. And with her going on to college to compete, and I'm sure she wanted to be here. She wanted to run. That's the competitor in her. But her career will continue. We will see her on a track again, even if it is at the next level. So we do miss her, but that does open the door for somebody else to come in and showcase their talents.
That's right. Grace Moeller comes in here with the top seed time of this heat with a 45:51. We already saw her earlier today in the 100 hurdles. Grace just a junior, so we got another year to watch her as well.
Another long hold here as they got everybody in the blocks. And, all these runners have their own routines, but everybody now is in their set. Another clean start. We like hearing that compared to those two shots as the Columbus Grove girls out there in 2 and 3 trying to make up that stagger. Yeah, looking pretty good in 3.
Yeah, Kendall Pulte looks like close, was in second, may now have shifted back. Remember, we've got Grace Moeller in 6. She's in the blue. But that lady in the lead is lane 4. That's Isabel Evans of Johnstown Northridge, a name that we've said in past years. Great hurdle style, just solid on the track.
And Moeller in great position here in the second spot. Two Columbus Grove runners, Pulte and Clausen, trying to go 3-4 here.
And I think they will.
And they got themselves in good position. I would be a little shocked if we didn't see both of them along with Grace Moeller running in the finals tomorrow.
Our next heat 2 of the girls' 300-meter hurdles. Lane 1, Morgan Apple is back. She is from Lipsick. Lane 2, Carly Busher of St. Henry. Lane 3, Kelsey Hackman of Danville. Lane 4, finishing in third place last year, Ariel Heitkamp of Fort Loramie. Lane 5, Madison Smith of New London. Lane 6, Sammy Rotuno of Mooney. Lane 7, Ava Hewlett of Mineral Ridge. 8, Olivia Griffith of Centerburg. And 9, Kara Hunsinger of Evergreen.
We already saw Morgan Apple compete twice here today. Heitkamp's already competed as well. So these girls putting in a lot of work in these prelims. These 300 hurdles are not easy. This is a grueling race. You got to give them a ton of credit for being able to pull off these types of races at this stage of the season.
So right now it's Ava Hewlett of Mineral Ridge getting over those hurdles first. Challenging next to her from Mooney is Sammy Runo. But take a look at Ariel Heitkamp. She's picking it up, and I think she might win this heat. She just came in those last 100 and got it.
Ava Hewlett, you talked about the Mineral Ridge runner. She really fell off. Heitkamp did a great job pouring it in. And I think she surprised herself with that time. I believe that was a 44.
Let's see, we're going to watch it come around one more time. You're seeing the finish there. Yeah, a 44.51.
We're joined by Kendall Pulte, just finished up the 300 hurdles, came in third place. Good enough to advance to tomorrow, but not clean enough, right?
No, not quite.
What do you need to do to improve? You told me you had a little bit of trouble with the first hurdle.
Yeah, that first hurdle, I get to it, I stutter just a tiny bit, so I jump very high above it, and it kind of throws me off. And then I stutter just a tiny bit, so once I get that cleaned up, it'll be better, yeah.
It's got to make you feel good, though, that you're advancing, but you didn't run the best race.
No, I didn't. But yeah, it's good. It makes me confident for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Coming down here, I know you're a junior. This is a great atmosphere. Are you to the point in your career yet where you kind of soak it in, or is still kind of wide-eyed?
Kind of soaking it in. I mean, I've been here 3 times so far as a junior, so it's easier now that I've experienced it. I'm a little less nervous than when I was freshman year.
All right, so you're the experienced-wise one now. What do you got to do with the nerves tomorrow?
Well, I have my teammate. She made it, so we just give each other a good pep talk and, say good luck, and it helps calm us down for the race.
Boys 300-meter hurdles. This is event number 16. We've got 2 runners we're watching in this heat. In lane 2, it's Lincoln View's Cody Ricker, and in lane 6, Elijah Heitkamp of Fort Loramie. Other runners are David Keenan in lane 1 of Dayton Christian, Lincoln View in 2, Peter Sensor of Huron in 3, Braxton Barnett of Shenandoah in 4, Brody Baker of Cary in 5, Heitkamp from Fort Loramie in 6, Dashel Neighbor of Fisher Catholic in 7, Dante Gentile of New Middletown Springfield in 8, and Braden Long of Cedarville in 9.
Ricker and Heitkamp, they come in with identical seat times, 39:21. We got a stumble down there in lane 1. That might open the door here for somebody, as it looks like Ricker.
Oh, my, that's such a close finish. So we know Shenandoah's runner got first. Waiting to see who got the second spot.
So I wonder if we had some wrong lane assignments here, because we have Lincoln View in lane 2, but that was not a Lincoln View runner in lane 2. They don't have black and red. So I'm not quite sure. Heitkamp finished 4th in that heat. And then Ricker, it looks like.
So we don't even have Ricker on our list, actually. I mean, we have him on our list, but he is not showing up.
Yeah, he finished 3rd.
Oh, he finished 3rd. Okay,
yeah.
He finished 3rd.
So Heitkamp and Ricker go 3 and 4. They'll have to wait to see how the second heat turns out to see whether or not they're going to be able to run tomorrow in the finals.
Heat number 2 of the boys 300-meter hurdles. Lane 4, Garrett Trentman from Ottoville. He came in 4th last year. He's the one we're watching. Lakota in lane 1, Lucas McEwen, Eli Dickman of Eden in 2, Garrett Geiser of Smithville in 3, Trentman in 4, Nathan Kukojic, Warren JFK in 5, Cameron Burgess of Chesapeake in 6, Max Durbin of Crestview in 7, Aiden Robinson, Liberty Union in 8, and Kingston Powell of Mooney in lane 9.
Garrett Trentman comes in with the top seat time here in this heat, 38.31, as he's off to a great start, as he is currently out in front as they come into the straightaway, but he is being pushed by lane 6.
Burgess of Chesapeake. Now remember, top 2 make it in. He doesn't have to do anything more right now.
And that looks like that. He knew that as he kind of cruised that one in. Trentman struggled a little bit coming off of that curve into that hurdle. It can always be a little bit tricky, and I don't know if that tripped him up or what, because he looked great coming off of that, but Burgess able to stay out in front He is going to take the win here in this heat, but Trentman will make it to finals.
Garrett Trentman from Ottoville just finished up the 300 hurdles, second place in your heat. Happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Just come out here and get tomorrow, hopefully, yeah. It's a good time, and get rest up tonight and be ready for tomorrow.
A lot of confidence coming down here again. Last year, your fourth place finisher. Does that help you out mindset-wise?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's still really good competition. I mean, the competition doesn't go away, so it's even probably better than last year, so yeah.
We've had you a couple times on WOSN. We watched you last year. We've watched you this year. There's a little bit more focus, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, last season, go out there and give it my all, and hopefully put on a good show for the community that comes down and all their support.
Now, we have the podium right over here, right in front of us, right?
Yeah.
What would it mean tomorrow if you're number one on that podium?
I mean, it'd be a dream come true. I mean, working the past 4 years and just putting the work in, and yeah, I mean, that's really all it is, just a dream come true.
Isabella Zahn is back. She is in lane 4. We're going to have the girls' 200-meter dash. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Busher Electric. Busher Electric is a full-service electrical contractor servicing the area communities for more than 40 years. You can depend on Busher Electric for all your electric needs. Here's what we have in this race. Lane 1, Nicole Hayes of Lake Center. Lane 2, Bria Friend of Montpelier. Lane 3, Ava Travis of Johnstown Northridge. Lane 4, Izzy Zahn, the University of Iowa commit from Coldwater. Lane 5, Jaylee Osborne, Frederick Hawking. Lane 6, Taylor Schmidtmeyer, Fort Loramie. Lane 7, Morgan Spalding, Columbus Academy. Lane 8, London Reichert of Ansonia. And Lane 9, Allison Thompson of Columbus Grove. And as we watch them getting ready, Nate, you were taking a look at the 300 hurdles finals. A lot of local runners will be in that race tomorrow.
Absolutely. When we look at the girls' qualifiers for tomorrow, Ariel Heitkamp of Fort Loramie, Grace Moeller of Marion Local, Carly Busher of St. Henry, Kendall Pulte from Columbus Grove, and Bree Clausen of Columbus Grove, all qualified for finals. 5 of the 9 spots will all be from Northwest Ohio. We also got the results in from the boys 300-meter hurdles. We will have 3 representatives from our area, as it is going to be Garrett Trentman, Cody Ricker, and Elijah Heitkamp. They qualified 4, 5, and 6 for tomorrow's final.
Looks like we are missing lane 7. That's supposed to be Morgan Spalding of Columbus Academy. Izzy Zahn, the current Division III state record holder.
We may see a faster time than what we have on our paper. We talked about this in the 400, Jennifer. She ran a faster time at regionals than what the state record currently is showing.
She has rebroken her records multiple times. You know, she's put in so much work in, I would say, the off season, but she doesn't have an off season. Just look at her. Look at her strength. Look at her power. Look at her focus. Not even any close. Nothing close.
And she is going to come in a sub-24 time. A great time for her. We'll see how our other local runners finished up.
Yeah, so no questions there. Zahn is heading to the finals tomorrow with a 23.72. Columbus Grove's Thompson gets in the 3rd place spot. We'll have to wait and see if she makes it in as well. Heat 2 of 2, the girls' 200-meter dash. Lane 1, Aubrey Vitte of Lakota. Lane 2, Layla Hayes, LeBray. Lane 3, Brooke Bauer, Northmore. Lane 4, Anna Reesner, Fort Recovery. Lane 5, Olivia Hudson, Oberlin. Lane 6, Claire Bertkey, Coldwater. Lane 7, Autumn Ritter of Houston. Lane 8, Cameron Cuter of Newcomerstown. And Lane 9, Savannah Cook of Hopewell Loudon.
Watching Lane 4 closely, Anna Rosner, she has had a great meet so far. Her starts have been incredible. And we saw what she did in the 400. We'll see if she can get off to another great start. And she did. And she is out.
Oh, look at that.
Such good starts by her here today, as she is looking fantastic there in lane 4.
You know, for her season, you would say she's been undefeated with the exception of losing only twice to Izzy Zahn.
And here she goes, running up tall, on the toes, getting those arms pumping. And she just ran under 24. I believe it.
Oh, so
24.02. Any other year, Jennifer, she just set a state record.
So 24.02 would have broken last year's
state
Division
record.
III and state meet record right there. Wow.
Rosner is, it's tough when you are a runner like that and you are running against somebody like Izzy Zahn, and any other time in your career you would be state champion, you would have multiple, you'd have records. But at the end of the day, you just keep going. You go against certain talents in certain years. It's about timing. But I'll tell you what, take nothing away from Anna Rosner and what she has done. She has looked great here tonight.
With Claire Berkey from Coldwater, just finished up to 200. Great run. It felt good about your effort?
Yes, for sure. It's a little warm out, but I did the best that I could, and I'm happy with it. So,
well, you learned as a freshman, this has got to be one of those times where you got to conquer your nerves a little bit, right? How nervous were you?
I was a little nervous, but I've had a couple more races before this, so that kind of helped calm my nerves, like in the 100. So it wasn't too bad, but of course I'm still going to get the pre-race nerves. So,
what's it like running against a generational runner like Izzy Zahn every single day? Is it a little frustrating, or does it help you raise your level?
Oh, it for sure helps me. She's such a good role model for everybody, and she's for sure helped me in like every race, anything. She's awesome.
Well, good luck tomorrow. We appreciate your time, and go Cavaliers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Hey, last question. Do you have better sneaker game than your aunt over there?
I don't know.
Yeah, Aunt's got some great sneakers on those feet. Congratulations. Good luck tomorrow.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Loigers Insurance. Loigers Insurance, reliable, knowledgeable, professional. That's Loigers Insurance. Event number 20, it's the boys 200-meter dash. We're watching lanes 2 and lanes 5. In lane 1, it's Hayden McFadden of Hillsdale. Lane 2, Riley Newton, Hardin Northern. Lane 3, DeAndre Riley of Mooney. Lane 4, Joseph Schaefer, Huron. Lane 5, Cole Kaiser, St. Henry. Lane 6, Gabe Opong of Tree of Life. Lane 7, Jalen Griffman, Cincinnati College Prep. Lane 8, Logan Clark of East Knox. And Lane 9, King Wilson of Cardinal Stritch.
Cole Kaiser running right next to Joseph Schaefer, who has the top time, 21.57. That is a blazing time here in this race. We'll see if that pushes Kaiser, as he's going to have to get off to a good start, and he did.
Look at that start. Obviously, he knows who he has next to him and what he's got to do.
So we'll see what kind of catch-up that Schaefer has. Sometimes that's where their strength is. Kaiser trying to stay out in front, but look at the runner from Mooney go. Kaiser going to come away second, and it is going to be...
The Hillsdale runner out in 1 also doing pretty well, but yeah, Kaiser gets it. 22:05 is his time.
So that was Schaefer. I had the wrong runner. Schaefer was out in front. He ran a sub 22. He did win that heat with Kaiser right behind him.
In Heat 2, we have in lane 1, Hayden Ebright of Macomb. Chase Hinton of Liberty Union in 2. Matthew Wright of Purcell Marion in 3. Jaden Smith of Afrocentric, your runner in lane 4. Aiden Duncan of Trinity in 5. King Beard of Lakota in 6. Sammy Tomlinson of Dalton in 7. Then in 8, it's Victor Holscher of Marion Local. And in 9, Trevon Baxter of Columbus Grove.
So they had everybody down in their blocks, but then called everybody up. So it's one of those things that sometimes can just mess with the runners and their techniques and their setup. And it's just kind of that mental part of running where it's just not typical to get in your blocks, get yourself set, and have to come back up. So we'll see how all the runners, hopefully they get a clean start here.
Remember, lanes 1, 8, and 9 are who we're watching. Macomb in 1, Marion Local in 8, and Columbus Grove in 9. I really think Victor Holscher is going to want to do something here, and I think he is.
Yes, he is.
Look at this.
He ran that curve so good. He was just off of that line as he came around there. A lot of times you'll see runners drift out to the middle. He hugged it tight. That is going to help him get a win here in this heat. And it's all because of how he ran that curve. Fantastic race by Holscher.
22:02. He came in with a 22:95 seed time. Take a look at that. Very nice run for Victor Holscher.
We're with Victor Holscher. Just won his heat in the 200 for the boys from Marion Local. Got to be excited winning that heat.
Yeah, it's an awesome feeling, just fishing that finish line. So it's expected. You got to win it.
Winning the heat and then your time, it's going to put you in position tomorrow. You can be on top of that podium. How confident are you about your abilities going into tomorrow?
I just got to do one race at a time. obviously I got the 100 4x2 before that, so not too worried about that right now. So I'll wait till tomorrow.
I like that. It's a great answer. Now, the humidity out here, some athletes are struggling with it. Are you okay dealing with the conditions that we have in here with all this humidity?
I mean, obviously no one's ready for the heat. I mean, it's hard to, train for that. But you got to do what you got to do. You got to run your trace and stay hydrated, stay under the shade, and you'll be good.
Do you love this event? Do you love coming down to the Jesse O?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I love the competition. No one likes to run. I just love to compete. That's about it.
I love the honesty. Nobody loves to run. Well, hopefully tomorrow we're rooting you on and you're on top of that podium. Good luck, my friend.
Yep, thank you.
Final girls event of the day is here. It's event 23, the girls 4x400 meter relay. Our title sponsor and our scoreboard sponsor of this entire meet is Wabash Mutual Telephone. Wabash Mutual Telephone, proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. 4x4 is here, and the sun is back.
It is. It cannot make up its mind at all. And now we get nice blazing heat here for this 4x4. Before we get started, the girls 200-meter results are in. Qualifying tomorrow. We are going to have a fantastic final. We've been saying that all day, but I tell you what, the finals tomorrow for Division III are going to be electric. But we get to watch Izzy Zahn, who's going to be competing here in this 4x4, and Anna Reisner. Excuse me, I've been saying that wrong today, so I apologize. Reisner, they go head-to-head. They qualified 1 and 2. And then Claire Berkey, Allison Thompson, they were 5 and 6 heading into the finals tomorrow.
In this race, we have a lot of local teams. In fact, in the 2 heats, 10 of the 18 teams are from our viewing area. Here's who we have in Heat 1. Lane 1, Smithville. Lane 2, Mogador. Lane 3, St. Henry, leading off with Riley Busher. Lane 4, Coldwater with Audrey Alig. Lane 5, East Knox. Lane 6, Columbus Grove, Bree Clausen. Lane 7, Malvern. Lane 8, Anna, Victoria Heitkamp. And in Lane 9, Wayne Trace with Bethany Miller.
We're going to be on a little bit of a record watch here. The Coldwater 4x4 team, they come in with a seed time of 3 minutes, 56 seconds, .01. And the current state and state meet record is 3 minutes, 54.85 seconds. That's held by Wayne Trace, set back in 2023. And you got to imagine, if they don't get it today, Coldwater is definitely going to make a run at that thing tomorrow.
So we've seen Izzy Zahn already run a few times. Just incredible times, yet her running style makes it look so simple. Beautiful style, excellent. Just you can see the effects of how much she has worked this past year.
Yeah, and I mean, on all that is, I mean, there's no mistaking why she is going to run Division I track and field and why she's going to a program like Iowa that's had a really good history of track and field come through that program. And she's going to be every bit about that because she's going to continue to develop. She's going to continue to grow. This isn't her peak. She's going to be a lot of fun to watch once she gets into that program and gets a new style of training and some new coaches and gets a little bit more specific. Because at the high school level, it's difficult for coaches. You're trying to coach all the different events. You're trying to make everything as impactful as you can. Once you get to the college level, though, she will have a 400-meter coach. She will have a 200-meter coach. They will be very specifically designed for her, and I think that's when we're really going to see her take that next step.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to even continue to watch what she does. She's not our only athlete, of course, moving on to college. So many great runners here, but we're talking about Izzy because, yeah, she is heading to the University of Iowa, which I'm going to just give my shout out for that. I grew up in Iowa, grew up a Hawkeye fan. My sister still flies back from Colorado to go to Iowa events. I'm going to have to tell her to start going to track and field. So yay, black and gold. Iowa Hawkeye Isabella Zahn. She will be the anchor for this Coldwater relay, which is in lane 4. Now, I feel like once again, we're waiting longer than we thought we would be.
Yeah, and I think maybe this comes from, there is a timeline here at the state meet, and they try to stay on that. We are a little bit behind that, but I also wonder if it's one of those things where they want to make sure that they're giving the proper rest time between events. So schools that may have kids who ran the 200 and are used to having a 3,200-meter race in between the rest still have that time so they're not hindered here in this 4x4.
Well, as we are waiting for this to come by, we're going to remind you again of who our sponsors have been because we're so grateful for them. Wabash Mutual Telephone is our title sponsor. Our presenting sponsors of this prelim track meet, Holman's Insurance, Busher Electric, and Loigers Insurance. We cannot do this without our sponsors. We're so thankful for our faithful sponsors that have been with us all throughout this season. You can see them there on the screen. The 4x400, this is heat 1 of 2. And once again, it's St. Henry in lane 3, Coldwater in lane 4, Columbus Grove in lane 6, Anna in lane 8, and Wayne Trace in lane 9.
So we are finally just about ready to underway here. We heard the starter give the order to the runners to stand in their lanes. So we'll be getting ready to go here momentarily. But, you know, this is a lot like we talked about in that 4x8. This is a longer relay. You can make up some ground. It's strategic about where you place your runners and what their strengths are. And this is the key event, though. This ends every track meet. This is the marquee thing that everybody wants to see. And we are in for some great races here.
Ladies will stay in their lanes for this entire first leg. First leg. Maybe the heat is getting to my mouth. It has been warm today, and you're just right at 12:06.
Great job.
Is the time 12:06.
Great job on the inside. East Knox looks like they've already made up that stagger down there in lane 5. Looking good coming out of the turn. But it looks like Columbus Grove right there, and the East Knox runner actually just fell.
Oh, my goodness.
It doesn't look like there's any contact. I think she just kind of got tripped up. Not sure if her legs didn't get, just start maybe get a little wobbly on her. But that is going to open the door for some teams. Here comes Columbus Grove, Coldwater down the front stretch, Anna out in front as well. We'll get a better idea where everybody's at as we look at these handoffs.
That's right. Take a look at, they're still in that stagger, so you got to watch the handoff. Lane 2.
Columbus
possibly?
Grove, looked like they might have handed off right after Anna did. Anna looked like they're off to a great start here. Columbus Grove side by side with them, though. Coldwater
in 4.
So Coldwater doing a nice job. They've moved up to second. They are actually, and it's Columbus Grove. I had those two teams mixed up. Thank goodness
Well, their
for these binoculars.
uniforms are so close.
Yeah, so it's Coldwater up in 2, looking to make a move here on the far curve.
Yeah, and she is. Lana Kaiser is who we have listed as the runner. She did a great job on that straightaway, striding out really nicely. Now she's utilizing that last 200, but the leader is not wanting to give up.
And here comes Columbus Grove. They fought their way all the way back up right next to St. Henry.
Coldwater with it was back and forth. They're now in second.
St. Henry holds off the charge from Columbus Grove, but it is going to be Coldwater, St. Henry, Columbus Grove in 3, 4, and 5.
Actually, 2, 3, 4. Coldwater's in 2.
Oh, you're right. Correct.
Yep. We've got St. Henry in 3. Columbus Grove has now switched to 5th, so you were right on that one.
East Knox, after that stumble, they have fought their way back up into 3rd place. They overtook Columbus Grove. They're looking to try to track down St. Henry on that backstretch. Columbus Grove falling off the pace a bit. Anna right back there. They're trying to catch Columbus Grove as well. Wayne Trace, a couple of runners in front of Columbus Grove, as well as they're starting to bunch up a bit as they come through that 3rd curve.
So Kirsten Keller doing her job, setting things up very nicely for Izzy Zahn, who's getting ready to anchor this relay for her team. Remember, 3:54.85 is the state record.
Exciting finish here going into this last leg. Teams all bunching up, trying to position themselves here for a good finish to make finals. Columbus Grove with a clean handoff.
Yeah, St. Henry in 3. Wayne Trace has moved up to 4th place, I believe.
So it is Coldwater followed by Magador. And then is that St. Henry, Wayne Trace, and East Knox?
But look at the Wayne Trace runner barreling down on that third place spot. You know, that third, fourth, and fifth place spot is all about timing, and they know that.
Wayne Trace overtaking St. Henry, East Knox right there as well, right on the heels of the Wayne Trace runner, as Izzy Zahn continues to lead this race.
She is the anchor for Coldwater. St. Henry is anchoring with Evie Gass. Wayne Trace has Caroline Winans. Columbus Groves with Devaney Pingle, and Anna has Ava Reed anchoring. Here she comes.
Here comes Columbus
Isabella
Grove.
Zahn. I know we call her Izzy, but I think she has a beautiful name. Izzy Zahn brings her team fourth place. Wayne Trace trying to hold on to that third place spot. St. Henry and Columbus Grove. Nice finish for all three ladies. Heat 2 of 2, the girls 4x400. Lane 1, Riverdale, Paige Vent. Lane 2, Kalida with Allie Kuhlman. Lane 3 is Northmore. Lane 4 is Oberlin. Lane 5, Fort Loramie, leading off with Harley Eilerman. Lane 6, McDonald. Lane 7, Minster with Sophia Dirksen. Lane 8, Grandview Heights. And Lane 9, Patrick Henry, leading off with Mia Amador.
Keep your eye on the middle of the track. Oberlin, they have the top seed time, 4 minutes, 0.27 seconds coming in this one. Fort Loramie right behind them, about a second, a little bit over a second at 4:01:31. That Fort Loramie team, 3 senior runners. I'm not sure what Taylor Schmidtmeyer is, just the one that kind of got cut off on our heat sheet here, but that is a very experienced 4x4 team.
That's right, and if you got 3 seniors, they come in saying, this is it. This is our time to do our thing. So they've got experience and they've got a purpose behind what they're doing.
It's Minster out to a great start here as they come around the curve, looking really good. As we talked about in that first heat, a little hard to tell right now kind of where everybody's at until we start seeing the handoffs go.
Yeah, we still have the stagger underway, but Minster does look like they have made up some of their stagger. Sophia Dirksen passing off to Ava Stammen, so freshman to senior. Ava Stammen with a lot of state experience.
Northmore in lane 3 looked like they handed off just ahead of Minster, but a nice start by the second leg there for the Lady Wildcats as they're going to break the stagger coming down the backstretch.
Fort Loramie's running Miley Chateau for the second leg. Like I said, Stammen for Minster. Patrick Henry has Karis Crossland running. Kalida, Adeline Huber, and for Riverdale, Shea Berger.
So it is going to be Northmore followed by Minster. Kalida up in the mix with McDonald. Better look as they come around here. McDonald's, Fort Loramie, they're right there in the back of that pack. Kalida fighting hard. Patrick Henry right there in the mix as well, as that pack is staying very close here coming into these exchanges.
Ava Stammen passing off in first to Joanna Top. 2 freshmen, a sophomore, and a senior for this 4x4 from Minster. We saw a similar thing with the 4x8.
We did, and Fort Loramie got tied up in traffic as they tried to cut in, ran directly into the Patrick Henry runner who had just handed off, but nothing, you know, the rule is you have to stay straight. As long as you stay straight and you're in your lane and you're not making an attempt to get in the way of other runners, you're not going to be DQ'd.
We got some contenders here. Minster still in the lead, but definitely being challenged right now.
So Minster out a couple of legs in front of McDonald. Northmore back there in third. Fort Loramie has done an incredible job fighting their way all the way back up into fifth. Kalida right behind them.
Look at the Minster runner. So much respect for the Minster team as we watch their middle distance again do powerful things here at the state track meet. Claire Bowman moving her way around the track with grit and grace. The fight for second place, though, is definitely on.
The third leg from Fort Loramie did a tremendous job. They had to make up a lot of ground, got themselves into the 4th position. But right now, the top 3 kind of separating themselves, still being led by Minster.
So speaking of the 4th position for Fort Loramie, that would be Ariel Heitkamp. We've seen Ariel run. She did a great job in the 300 hurdles not long ago, and she is the anchor for Fort Loramie.
Here comes Kalida. They're trying to make up some ground, seeing if she can't track down Heitkamp. This is going to be a great finish. Minster, they got a little bit of company now here towards the front of the race.
Minster still with the lead. Can she hold on to the moment? Going to get second, but her team will make it. The Minster team will automatically qualify for tomorrow's finals. So Oberlin comes in, wasn't in first that whole time until the very end.
And that's all that matters when it's all said and done. It doesn't matter where you are, it's just where you finished. And Oberlin got themselves the top time coming out of this heat.
Our presenting sponsor for the D3 Prelims State Track broadcast is Holman's Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and Versailles. Event 24, the final boys event in this prelim broadcast. It's the 4x400 meter relay, and this is heat 1 of 2. Lane 1, Van Buren, leading off with Cooper Bond. Lane 2, Newton Local. Lane 3, New Middletown Springfield. Lane 4, Marion Local with Justin Knopf leading off. Lane 5, Northmore. Lane 6, Tenora with Brennan Gentit. Lane 5, Fisher Catholic. Lane 6, Ashland Crestview. And Lane 9, Seneca East.
So Marion Local off to a good start. They have the top seed time coming into this race. So we've talked about it a couple of different times, especially with the relays. It's all about getting into those finals tomorrow. But you know that Marion Local doesn't want to leave too much out there and not leave too much to chance. Nice job breaking this stagger coming down this front stretch.
Yeah, unfortunately, Marion Local has been running without Victor Holscher the past few races. Understand that he underwent an injury back in football that's just not allowed him to run the 400 like we wish he could, because he's such a strong 400 runner. But Marion Local still just a strong team.
Well,
Nathan Winter taking off now.
Yeah, and without their, arguably their best 400 runner in Holscher, they still ran a 3:21.30 to give themselves the top seed time coming into this one. So still, running really well. And, I think we've said it since August. Marion Local's just good at sports.
They are.
They're just good at sports.
Really? They're kind of good?
Yeah.
They're kind of good at football. No, they're awesome. Awesome at football. And they're looking awesome here, too. State champions last year, Marion Local. A lot of experience here and doing some damage on the track right now. Nathan Winter getting ready to hand off to Andrew Pullman. Will hand off in the first place spot.
Tenora a little ways back as they are going to hand off in 6th place. As Marion Local doing a nice job opening up a lead.
So according to our list, we've got Andrew Pullman, who will hand off to Oliver Hulsman, who will anchor this relay.
And that might be, I'm not positive. We'll look as they come across. Is 2nd place, is that Van Buren?
Marion Local definitely in the lead right now.
Marion Local has the lead. Coming into this front stretch, Tenora move their way up into third
spot.
No, Van Buren coming in. They are coming in now in 7th place.
Great stride from the Tenora runner to lead into that handoff. In fact, he's still having to finish off because he had such a strong finish.
So our local ties, Marion Local out in the lead. Tenora right now in 3rd. Van Buren back in 7th.
Paul Restrick, the anchor for Tenora, just picked things up to move into 2nd place. They come in with a seed time of 3:25.16.
Marion Local looking so good as they come around that 3rd curve.
I just love watching the runners pick things up in that last 200, and that's what we've seen Hulsman do here. Not slowing down at all. Eyes on the prize. But meanwhile, the fight for 2nd place is on.
Seneca East coming up. They're going to take over 3rd. Tenora now back into 4th.
Oh,
Marion
Seneca
Local
East
going to hold on. And they do.
I wonder if he even realized how close that runner was.
As he looked like he was struggling just a bit here as you come in, or as they were coming into the finish line. As you get a great look here on our instant replay camera.
Yeah, Marion Local squeaks it out by 0.1. But you know what? They just needed to qualify.
That's right. And
tomorrow's the day that matters.
That's all that matters. They've got themselves a chance to get on the podium and defend their state title.
Heat 2 of 2 in the boys 4x400 meter relay. In lane 1, we have New Bremen. Joel Lozier leading off. Lane 2 is Lakota. Lane 3, Bel Air. Lane 4, Wayne Trace with Gage Ogle. Lane 5, Colonel Crawford. Lane 6, Fort Loramie, DJ Barhorse. Lane 7, Smithville. Lane 8, North Adams. And in lane 9, it's Mooney.
Top time coming into this one belongs to Fort Loramie. They hold a seed time of 3 minutes, 21.64 seconds. We will see how this one shakes out. Wayne Trace not too far behind them, and New Bremen just a second behind them. So in for another tight, close race. This is what makes this 4x4 so exciting.
Clean start. They are off and running. They'll stay in their lanes for the entire first lap. We are watching once again lane 1, New Bremen, lane 4, Wayne Trace, and lane 6, Fort Loramie. Okay, some wind just picked up, Nate. We have had so many weather changes since our racing started at 9:30 this morning, just 3 hours ago.
Well, you know, it was nice of them, of the OHSAA, to plan this. Since we've had a track season filled with every type of weather, they decided, you know what, here on the culmination, we're going to make sure that you guys get to recap and experience all the weather you got throughout the year.
But the good news is, folks, we have had no rain. And I know I just said the R word, but we've had no rain, and things are sunny right now. All right, watch the exchange, because that tells the story of where we are. Looks like it's lane 7 right now, Smithville. Oh, look at that second runner for Smithville, kicking things off. Trey Durstein.
Great open leg for them. Fort Loramie a little bit behind right now, finding themselves in 4th place. A little bit of work to do here as they all are going to come down the track into one lane.
Max Maurer is running now for Fort Loramie. We've got Ben Gurney for Wayne Trace and Jacob Kelly running for New Bremen.
Wayne Trace and New Bremen right there in the middle of this pack at 5 and 6. New Bremen coming up on Wayne Trace, looking to overtake them.
I don't know if you can hear the crowd, folks, but it is a packed house here, and the 4x4 always gets people on their feet. The cheering is underway, and this is just leg number 2. New Bremen, oh, nice kick there at the end for the New Bremen runner, passing off to Pierce Whitlatch. Oh, did we have a fall?
It was just on the exchange. I think everybody was all right. The exchange got off okay, and then 4x4 runner, you see that from time to time. It's kind of all that momentum moving forward.
So New Bremen has Pierce Whitlash running right now. Eli Treese for Wayne Trace and Landon Drees running for Fort Loramie.
Great race up front as Fort Loramie has moved into 2nd place, looking to overtake the lead, and they do. Fort Loramie out in front.
All right, folks, this is the part where you see who's got the grit at the end. This is the part where it is tough and your body is screaming. But if Landon Drees knew that 200 is what he would use, that back 200, strength coming in as he passes off here.
Fort Loramie 1, Wayne Trace 2. New Bremen having to work through some traffic. That momentum got halted. They're all the way back into 5th. And about to drop to 6th.
Jet Jellison is your anchor for New Bremen. Great runner there. Jet Jellison, Cole Moorhead running for Wayne Trace, and Elijah Heitkamp is the anchor for Fort Loramie. I love the crowd. Everybody's screaming, cheering, jumping around, and this is just the prelims.
Fort Loramie out in front. Wayne Trace had fallen back, but now they have retaken their position. They are in 2nd. As we come around the final curve, getting ready to come into this front stretch.
All right, this is the last lap. This is it for our prelim broadcast. We got to get on our feet just so we can see.
Fort Loramie looks like they're going to hold on. Here comes Wayne Trace. A great closing 40 out of him, as Wayne Trace is going to go 2nd and punch their ticket to the finals.
How exciting. We're going to have another wonderfully represented group of local teams in this final tomorrow.
Absolutely, and it's the theme of the Division III meet, Northwest Ohio. We are all over. Every single final is going to have multiple people, I believe, running the race tomorrow, and it is just so much fun to see, especially when, for us, we're lucky. We get to see these kids a lot. We know these kids a little bit more invested maybe, and to be able to kind of culminate the high school season tomorrow with watching all these guys run will be exciting.
That's right. Now, we will bring you the Division III finals full broadcast, so you're definitely going to want to watch that. That's going to have its first air on a Saturday at 7:30. But coming up next, stick around. It's the D2 prelims. That's what we have coming up next on WOSN. D3 prelims. It's been a great morning.
It has, and you know what? It's going to be a great afternoon, too. Excited for it.
And we want to say a quick thank you to our wonderful director, Ken Reeker, Abby Beck on camera. We've also had Tim Street and Scott Rex representing the OHSAA. Nick Fraley is back at the TV station getting everything ready to go as well. And Nate Garlock and myself, Jennifer Beck, having a great time on the call.